everybody. Sahir Galt here, and welcome to the Complete Guide to Chords. We're going to explore all the chords you need to know, how to build them, what they're called, and also where appropriate, discuss their function so you know how to effectively use them. Now, this is the first installment in the Complete Guide to Chords. So we're going to cover the triads, 3-note chords, which are the foundation of all harmony. Because a chord is 3 or more notes sounding together, and most chords are built by stacking thirds. A third is a kind of musical distance and describes when notes span 3 alphabetical letters, like the distance from C to E, counting all the note letters from C to E, C, D, E, or 1, 2, 3. That's a third. And when we say a chord is built in thirds, it means we simply stack third on top of third. So to build a chord from C, we go up a third, get the E. Next chord tone on top of that, up a third again, giving us G. C, E, G becomes our chord. And we've just built a major chord. What makes it a major chord is the arrangement of types of thirds. You might notice that the actual distance from C to E versus E to G isn't the same, even though alphabetically they both span 3 letters, and so are both thirds. You can see that C to E is wider, and that's because there are different types of thirds. There are major thirds. It's where there's 4 half steps between the notes. See, to get from C to E, you have to walk up C sharp, D, D sharp, E. That's the distance, 4 half steps. And then there are minor thirds, as from E to G. See, you only have to go up F, F sharp, and G, only 3 half steps. And so the formula, if you will, to build a major chord is a major third plus a minor third. And major chords sound bright, happy, and they're very consonant, meaning they don't have that clang of dissonance you'll hear in some other chords. Now, let's learn the other arrangements of thirds that lead to the other chord types. How about a minor third plus a major third? Starting again from C, up a minor third, or 3 semitones, that gives us E flat. Up a major third, or 4 semitones from E flat, gives us G. C, E flat, G is a minor triad. Dark, somber, but still consonant. And another common way to think about chord spelling is in relation to the root of the chord. The major chord, for example, is major third, perfect fifth, or root 3, 5. The minor chord, by contrast, is minor third, perfect fifth, or root flat 3, 5. And this style of spelling makes it easy to see how the chords relate to one another. In this case, to change a major chord to a minor one, we just have to move the third down a half step. Now, back to building the rest of the triads. Let's do minor third plus another minor third. It gives us C to E flat to G flat. And note that we call it G flat and not F sharp. Might seem interchangeable to you. Well, these are 2 names for the same note on the keyboard, something we call enharmonic equivalence. Chords are built in thirds. So, in terms of interval quantity, just going by the alphabet, E flat to G flat is the third. E flat to F sharp is a second. This minutia has important implications as we go along. And this one is minor third, diminished fifth, or root flat 3, flat 5, gives us a diminished triad. It's full of shock and horror. It's a dissonant, unstable chord. It feels like it wants to resolve elsewhere, which is typically to a chord up a semitone from its root. Last possible arrangement of thirds for a triad is major third, C to E, plus another major third, E to G sharp, or major third, augmented fifth, root 3, sharp 5. This is an augmented triad. Dreamlike, surreal, contains a bit of tension that's satisfying to release, and you can do that by moving any one of its chord tones up or down by a semitone. And now that you know how to build all of the triads, it's important to know where they live in relation to the key. If we lay out a key, say C major, we ascribe numbers to each scale degree. C is 1, D is 2, and so on down the line. And then when we build chords using notes from within the key, it works out that we get different qualities of chord depending on which scale degree we're building the chord from. If I build the chord starting from 1, it uses the scale degrees 1, 3, 5, which in this key spells out C, E, G. We already recognize this chord because we built it earlier. We know it's the major triad. In harmonic analysis, we'll label it with a capital Roman numeral 1. The Roman numeral lets us know we're referring to the chord built on the scale degree, and not just the scale degree itself. And the capital tells us it's a major chord. Now, if I build the chord starting from 2, the triad is 2, 4, 6. In this key, D, F, A. That's a minor third between D and F, and a major third between F and A. So the 2 chord is a minor triad. We'll label it with a lowercase Roman numeral, which indicates to us that it's minor. Now, if I continue building the triads starting from each scale degree, we find out that 3 is minor, 4 is major, 5 is major, 6 is minor, and 7 is diminished. This we write with a lowercase 7 with a degree symbol. That lets us know it's diminished. And this pattern is important to memorize. Major chords on 1, 4, and 5, minor 2, 3, and 6, and diminished on 7, because it holds true for building chords in any major key, no matter if you're in the key of C, B flat, F sharp, or any other major key. The types of chord you get on each scale degree will be the same. 1 will always be major, 2 will always be minor, and so on. Notes and names will look different according to what the key contains. Pattern is universal. Now, I imagine you might be wondering where the augmented chord lives if it's not in the major key. Well, you can find it in the harmonic and melodic minor keys, as well as a variety of exotic scales, like Hungarian minor and Neapolitan scales. We can talk more on that later. For now, to practice what you've learned, I recommend building a variety of triads, starting from roots other than C. How about a D major triad, F sharp minor, A diminished, B flat augmented? And you can check your work with the answers in the description. Okay, that's all for now. To keep this series and all my instructional videos going, please hop over to my Patreon page, and if you're able, contribute. Subscribe so you catch the future videos in this series. And as always, thanks for watching. I'm Zahir Galt. I'll see you next time.